fans are soaked, but here's the bottom line. We've got football at M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore, Maryland. Tonight, we've got a great Sunday night matchup between the New England Patriots and the Baltimore Ravens. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. Play action. Now Jackson. Open man is the tight end, Nick Bull. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 19 yards right off the bat, and a quick first down. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Jackson, he uncorks it for Snead. And it's knocked away and incomplete. The veteran Jason McCourty there to make sure that one didn't find its target.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high power, you got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Jackson's throw on target to Willie Snead. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that would look pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard, inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
Now it's Ingram. And he's brought down. That's a 12-yard gain now on back-to-back plays.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
Here's Jackson to the goal line, but it's incomplete. Marquise Brown, the rookie, his intended target, but it'll be 2nd and goal. One man in the backfield, that's Ingram on 2nd and goal. Throwing is Jackson to the end zone, but it's incomplete. Trying to get it to Willie Snead there, but now it's 3rd and goal.
All right, Captain, it's batten down the hatches time defensively. Dodge 2 pass attempts.
And he will take it in for a Ravens touchdown. Mark Ingram with his 28th touchdown, drawing level with Sean Alexander for the 2nd most in a single year. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. So this drive spans 7 plays. And it's Mark Ingram who caps it off with a touchdown run. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Brady and the Patriots now 1st and 10 at their own 23. They'll run with a former Super Bowl hero. It's James White. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Working from the gun, it's Brady. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. He was looking for Julian Edelman that time. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Throwing now is Brady. And that is incomplete.
And 3rd down is a key down in any game you play. And 3rd down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
And a fair catch signaled for and taken at about the 18-yard line. And when it's said and done, it's a 58-yard punt. The Baltimore offense at the line set to get going. They go play action here on 1st down. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. And mark him down way up close to the 40 at the 39. And a nice gain of 21 yards. Now a play fake here on first down. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. He was looking for Nick Boyle that time, but it'll be second down. So he's 3 for 7 throwing the football right now. Not an awful start, but also not the sharpest of starts.
No, I would agree with that, but if you're a confident quarterback and to play that position you have to be, you just act like there's something wrong with the wind currents or something wrong with the ball. It is not you. Keep throwing. That timing usually develops.
Let me get through,
well, this is
fucking
going to
niggers.
depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. It's a gain of 5, but it'll lead to a 4th down.
Their bread and butter is their passing game. After that last play, maybe they need to go back to that passing game.
Well, what's been good for them along the way is they understand their identity. They are a passing team, but they do like to mix in the run every now and then just to keep people off balance. Didn't work very well on that one, but all in all, I like their philosophy.
The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. Now it's Edwards. Flashed the stick skills, but didn't get a ton from it. Stopped short of the 35. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Jackson going to give this one to Edwards. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. A gain of 13. It's a first down. Edwards, a man who had undrafted out of Rutgers, signed with the Ravens, and last year as a rookie, very productive. 718 yards in only 11 games played. 300-yard games in the second half of the season. All of them victories, really helping propel the Ravens into the postseason. Also had better than 5 yards per carry. Quite a start for the Staten Island native to his NFL career. They'll throw on first down with Jackson. And lucky to get away with one there. That one nearly picked. 2nd down. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Jackson. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Marquise Brown. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. As the Ravens push further out in front.
Well, they have to be loving this start to the first quarter.
Well, the way that they're going, I mean, you're about 2 touchdown drives already. They feel very confident and feel like they have all the answers in this game. They're 1 point away from going up 14-0. Maybe they press the advantage and go for 2.
Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Pats at the line, ready to go. And on the first drive, 3 and out. I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Michael Pierce, in all of his 340-pound glory, gets the sack. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. Ready for the second quarter, and it's our visitors with the football as they've got it with a 2nd down coming up. Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15. To throw, it's Brady. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. Ben Watson was the intended target, and now it's 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. On the left side, a catch by White. And he's going to be taken down right at the line. No gain at all on the play there, and that'll bring up 4th down.
That was impressive to me because while it was a pass play, they still rallied to the football like they were filling running lanes, and they were able to put the receiver on the ground.
Lamar Jackson marching back onto the field. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of him. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes. But right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the second quarter. And some room to work. There he goes, right side. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Gus Edwards His first touchdown on the year as the Ravens push further out in front. Tucker with the extra point, and that makes the score 21-0. So 2 plays on that scoring drive. That's how they drew it up. And the long run into the end zone, and what a run it was. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. A reminder, tomorrow night, Monday Night Football to wrap up Week 9, one of the best rivalries around. The Cowboys and the Giants from MetLife Stadium. Kickoff 8:15 Eastern. Of course, despite the fact that the clocks rolled back yesterday, make sure to stay up late for that one. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. On 2nd down, they'll run with White. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
What bitch?
Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield.
And now a fumble. Brady loses the football. Call it luck or skill, whatever the case is, they're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now, our ball. They don't care if it was luck or skill or the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground. Whether you get it or your teammate gets it, just as long as you maintain possession, that's all you're looking for.
12 yards on the return that time. Gus Edwards heading back onto the field. A good job in the passing game. Decent job in the running game, but really they've been more effective through the air. We'll see if that shifts at all as this goes on.
Thus far, it feels like they're calling this game in reverse. Normally you run to set up the pass. Here it feels like they're passing, hoping to set up the run and be more effective later on in the game.
Yeah, you can do it both ways. We usually talk about it in the reverse, however.
No doubt about it.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Here's Edwards. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
And he'll get it down this time to the 17. Second quarter action with 1:59 remaining. Coming up at the half, a reminder we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Gus Edwards with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game, as the Ravens push further out in front. Now, always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. I can get some more. And he'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Julian Edelman and the rest of the offense back onto the field now. Looking down at the stats here, realizing he has no catches. They've targeted him twice, but no catches. So how do they get him more involved, Charles? And he fires one that's intercepted. It's the former Seahawk, Earl Thomas. And they will take over at the 29-yard line. After the interception, here's Jackson. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. 16 yards on that one, and a Raven first. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Gus Edwards on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. This is becoming quite the half he's had here.
Remember at our pregame meetings, they talked about wanting to run the football and staying with it? Well, when you're scoring this many touchdowns, there's no reason to go away from it, is there? They are off to a fantastic start. They hope it continues.
3 already for him. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Tom Brady leads the offense out for their next possession. In second quarter, they're down big already. He's struggling as well. They've got to find something here. He's got to find something on this drive.
And sometimes you take on all that extra pressure on yourself, and maybe you have to disperse it a little bit. Lean on some other people, lean on your teammates. Find someone who can take the pressure off and get the ball in their hands for a while.
Or this, if he doesn't, this is getting out of hand, or it could get worse. Now left side, a completion to his tight end. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down. Ravens going to use their third and final timeout, and they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. On first down, Brady. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. That one good for 13 and a New England first down. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's 2nd and 11. Now Brady again. This is White on the screen. They'll get 5 on the dump-off there, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. With James White, you know that he can catch the football. He was 3rd in the NFL amongst running backs last year with 87 catches. And as we've seen, sometimes they come in bunches. Super Bowl 51, he had 14 grabs, including the winning score. Last year in the divisional round versus the Chargers, 15 receptions for White. Brady's throw on 3rd down there is incomplete.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws, somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
Now Jackson back into his end zone. He's going and got his man complete. It's a gain of 35.
Well, you don't have to be a genius to watch this game and figure out they've had plenty of success moving the football here in the first half. We've seen exhibits A, B, C, and right on down the line, haven't we?
Yeah, we just saw exhibit Z right there.
Going up top. This is caught inside the 15. And he's in for the touchdown on the final play of the first half. The prayer is answered.
How did they get that done?
And they extend their lead, a little added cushion into the lockers. What a way to finish.
Tremendous way. That's momentum that they carry in with them. Can they convert it and bring it back out to start the 3rd quarter?
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. We'll start by heading out west. State Farm Stadium in Glendale. And as you see, they were winners back on Thursday night. Kyler Murray, a strong performance there, over 300 yards passing with 3 touchdowns in the victory. From there, we take the long trip back across the country. Then, across the pond, check out the action in London. And they were winners in that one over the visiting Houston Texans. 31-14, the final. And finally, on Monday Night Football, what a way to wrap up the first weekend of November. Cowboys and Giants from MetLife Stadium. In the game you're watching, we've seen a strong first half out of Lamar Jackson. He's thrown for over 200 yards already, and his guys have the lead as well. As we get you back to Brandon Gaudin.
So he comes out of nowhere. He's got this handlebar mustache, greasy hair, and he says, would you rather eat a jar of mayonnaise or 3 sticks of butter? And I look, well, all right, never mind. 3rd quarter action now. Fielded about a yard deep. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts them.
And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Shotgun now for Brady. His throw incomplete. Josh Gordon, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here. That looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open. And this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete.
And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. It'll be a loss of 1, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Now Brady. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
This has kind of been the story all night long, hasn't it? An inability to really get much done on third downs, and it's costing them.
His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. The Ravens offense now, they get set to head back on the field. They've been able to move the ball well in the air, and certainly a big reason why those receiving corps have been excellent.
There's no doubt about it, partner. And let's face it, when they get away from defenders, those guys are quick. And when they go over the top of people and use their bodies, they're just thick. But let's face it, what we're seeing right now are catches that are simply sick.
Well, you brought your A-game. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they look to add to that lead.
And how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion. Off the play fake, here's Jackson. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. The Raven passing game getting in sync, another first down. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Edwards now on 1st and 10. And he works free. The 20, 10, and all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Gus Edwards, 43 yards, as his guys continue to pour it on. And that rushing touchdown, his fourth, puts him just one shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it, but he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one.
This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Now the Patriots offense, they work their way back out onto the field. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point.
Time right. Hey, we got 3 down.
Brady deferring to White on the draw. And they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down. Another example of just a dominant performance by this defense.
Yeah, you hear all the time about teams that try to steal signals from the other side and try and learn their signs and their tendencies. It's almost like they get the answers to the exam the night before and were well prepared for this final.
They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check-down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
God damn it.
The Patriots send out their punter, standing right on his own 5-yard line. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. Here's Jones on the return. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. They've really distanced themselves. They have put the pedal to the metal, I guess, so to speak.
So definitely have them in the rearview mirror, don't they? I mean, you're exactly right. Being able to string together these drives that end up in points, it's almost like a run in basketball to create that distance, and they're on a really big-time one right now.
It becomes contagious, doesn't it?
It absolutely does, because oftentimes it translates to your defense as well, because they're excited about getting the ball back for their... defense that's playing so well.
Well, they are clicking right now. Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. Now Jackson to Boyle here over the middle. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 15 yards on the play, 1st down. To throw is Jackson.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense, and reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. So a big play as it gets him all the way down to the 20 now for 1st and 10. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Kyle Van Noy coming in hard there on the blitz, and he gets him 7 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. This will be caught inside the 10. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Nick Boyle, touchdown number 15 of the year, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Quarterback loves the receivers, but sometimes his best friend is that tight end.
Yeah, it's hard to believe, isn't it? Because we always talk about the guys out wide and how acrobatic they are, but that tight end, great sight lines, easier throws, they become a bigger and bigger weapon as the NFL evolves.
This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Now the Patriot offense set to take over again. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
Brady's incompletion on 1st down leads to a 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Brady, throw over the middle, secured by Gordon. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. 12 yards there and a 1st down. Brady, 5 straight completions here in this 2nd half. 1st and 10. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Brady. Finds his man, Watson, over the middle. A gain of 6 there on 1st. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Again, they'll throw with Brady. And his throw here's incomplete. Julian Edelman, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd and 4. Brady to throw again. Throwing right side, that's complete. Demaryius Thomas. And he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the 1st. There, they just keep marching right along. 1st down on a pickup of 8 there. Thomas, the 9-year vet. Of course, all those great seasons with Denver. 5 straight 1,000-yard campaigns in Denver. Dealt to Houston at the trade deadline last year, and now trying to work his way back off an Achilles tear. And if healthy, he can certainly be a big asset for Tom Brady. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on 1st down. Now Brady. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. Pernell McPhee in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. On 3rd and long, it's Brady. And he'll have his man. That's Edelman. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this 4th quarter. So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 25-yard line. To Gordon, out left. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
Nice game there, partner, but you and I both know that won't do anything for the final score. They're not going to win this one. Right now, they're playing for pride and fantasy points.
And just to erase that goose egg, nobody wants to be shut out. Throwing now is Brady. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Pernell McPhee. He's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. Brady gives this to White, and it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. This linebacking core, they've done a good job of keeping that running game in check, haven't they?
They certainly have, and what they'll also do when this game is over is thank the guys up front, the big defensive line, because they've kept them clean, so to speak. Not letting blockers get to them, allowing them to run to the football and keep that running game bottled up.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Patriots with the football as we get you reset. They come up on a 4th down situation with things not looking particularly rosy. And the 13-year man puts it through. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Well, it's a Pyrrhic victory at best, but, Charles, no team wants to get shut out, so it's hard to blame them for taking the 3 there.
You can't blame them one bit. It hasn't been the best performance, that's for darn sure. But there is something to be said for fighting to avoid the goose egg, and they're at least trying to finish out strong.
Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. 2nd and 10 now from the 27. Now it's Jackson. That's caught left side by the tight end Boyle. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. 23 yards the pickup there. They're not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Jackson. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. That's over 40 yards of movement with those last 2 plays. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They run with Edwards. Sheds another. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Ravens going to use their 3rd and final timeout. And as the 2 teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. They'll go back to Edwards on 1st down. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
I know you're trying to wring every yard out of a run, but I think 9 yards there is ideal in this situation.
Yeah, now next couple plays, you only need 1 yard. Keep that clock rolling with a lead here in the 4th.
Yeah, what you're saying is maybe if it takes you 1 or 2 more runs to get the 1st down, that's extra time, extra plays. Really hurts the team on defense.
And this one is right through. And they're well on their way now as the lead grows even larger. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. This is just an exercise in futility. Do you even bother running a play here offensively?
I wouldn't, because now is not going to erase what's happened during the game.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 28, and his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. But, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Baltimore, they continue to cruise through this first half of the schedule as they move to 8-0 now on the campaign. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Cincinnati Bengals. Meanwhile, for the Patriots, it's just their second loss so far to go along with their 7 wins. And they're going to get an extra week to stew over this as they're not back in action until week